Greetings, beloved of God. Now, have you ever heard that objection that the Gospels, that is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, have titles according to? Now, many have raised up the objections against the authenticity of these gospel accounts. Now, this is what they say. They say that since they have an according to in their titles, that automatically means that their authors are unknown. Now, my listener, I want to share with us what I learned concerning that very use of the word according to. Now, you can look at it in very different ways. Now, this is what I want us to look into today. Now, according to can mean perspective. Now, the fact that the four writers of the gospel wrote in different times, it can be confirmed that they wrote their accounts in different times. Now, they had different understandings. They had different views on what they wanted their listeners to understand. Now, today I'm going to give us two examples. Now, at the end of this video, so be tuned until watch the video until the end of this set. Now, I'm going to give us two examples in the contemporary sense to help us understand what actually according to would mean. Now, the word according to in the Greek understanding is the word kata. Is that the writer wants you to understand that whatsoever he or she is saying is in line with a particular understanding that his or her listeners had in that very moment of time. Now, if you read through the book of Luke, if you read through the gospel account of Luke, you will understand that he uses the same term, kata, in his accounts. Now, what he wanted his listeners to understand is that if we look at one example when he's speaking about the circumcision of the child, baby Jesus. Now it says that it was in accordance to the laws of Moses. It was in accordance to the law of Moses. Now, these people who bring about this objection that according to means anonymity, it means that there's some sort of uncertainty unto what the person, the writer is alluding to. Now, if you read through the book of Luke, then you will understand that he uses according to in a specific sense. It means that he knows exactly what he's referring his listeners to. So, just as I've pointed out earlier on in the example of the circumcision of Jesus, so we can see that Luke is saying that Jesus, this child Christ was circumcised in accordance to what was written in the law of Moses. So it doesn't mean that he never knew what he was referring to. So there's nothing absolutely about anonymity in accordance to this word kata in the Greek understanding. Now, in the contemporary sense, now I'm going to give us two examples of books which uses the same term according to in their title. Now, The Universe according to G.K. Chesterton. Now, Chesterton wants his listeners to understand, he wants to portray that this is his own understanding of the universe. Now, that doesn't mean there is no other understanding. That doesn't mean that he's the only one who understands the universe, but he's just pointing out his perspective of the universe. That is why he uses the term according to, and it is used in his title in his book, The Universe According to G.K. Chesterton. Now, who is the author of this book? It is the same person, G.K. Chesterton. So what that means is that there can be the understanding of perspective even with the author being known. That is example number 1. Now example number 2 is the book The Bhagavad Gita According to Gandhi. Now Gandhi is Mahatma. Mahatma Gandhi gives his perspective on the Gita. Now, who is the writer of that book? We can see that it is by Mahatma Gandhi. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that the term according to, the use of the term according to, as I've pointed earlier, doesn't necessarily mean anonymity or ambiguity in that very sense. So it doesn't communicate the sense that we don't know who the writer is. So you can use according to even when you know who the writers are. So to those people who have been raising up objections against the Gospels, that their titles have that word according to mean that their authors are anonymous, is erroneous and it is not true. So beloved of God, I believe that has helped somebody. Shalom.